you see that standing in that line is Matryoshka.
Queen.
Oh.
Beautiful and round, with long blonde hair spilling out from underneath a big black sun hat that sort of flops down, framing her very round face, big blue eyes.
We cannot
she's wearing,
stress enough how round she is.
Cannot stress it enough. With her red and black
Rotund.
striped dress that she's wearing. She's standing in line and she looks back and she notices that you guys have entered and she waves at you guys.
Phoebe nods and walks over to her.
As you walk over, Matryoshka goes, hello, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Maddie, how you doing?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm very hungry, you know. Prestige had us doing a lot of sort of combat drills today. And, you know, like, I mean, I like to get scrappy when I can, but it's sometimes, you know, I get tired and, and after a good workout, I need to eat so much, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm ready for it. Is lunchtime. You know what I mean?
I think I have a pretty solid understanding of what you mean. Can I cut in line with you?
Yes, of course. I mean, I was holding your place. You're going to get mad about it? And she looks around at everybody else. And everybody's like, no.
Well, I can tell that you've really gotten a grip of fear established over this campus, huh?
Oh, yes, ruling with an iron fist.
And she's like 4'10", maybe, right?
She's like 5'0". She's
okay,
kind of short, yeah.
Little.
Love her. So we wait in line for our bergs.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're in line and you're talking to her, she's sort of gesticulating wildly as she speaks. And there's a moment where you guys finally get up to, you know, get your food, and she gets her burger and her fries. And as she gets her food, she reaches back and she realizes, she's like, oh, hold on, I forgot, I wanted to leave a tip. And she turns around really quickly. And as she does, she bumps directly into someone. A large, familiar figure, 6 foot, with a black, tight-fitting V-neck shirt tucked into dark pants, long dark hair, cascading around his face. It is Helix. And he is carrying his own sort of tray of food. And as Matryoshka turns, she like knocks right into him. And he doesn't really move that much, but her plate of food like spills off. And you hear her like, oh shit. And as it falls, Helix immediately, like with these cat-like reflexes, he just reaches down and he grabs the plate and nothing falls. And he puts it back. It's kind of an impressive move. And as he does so, he puts it back on her plate and he just sort of, and you hear Matryoshka says something. She reacts. She says something in Russian that sounds like some sort of exclamation of surprise at this feat of agility. And what you guys notice is that immediately, almost like without even thinking, as a reaction, Helix responds in Russian. And he stops. And his eyes get like, there's a flicker of something that you would have to like try to pay attention to if you wanted to, as in with like a roll. But there's something there.
I could try to pay attention to that.
Let's pay attention.
If you want to, yeah, go ahead and make a willpower. Maybe an intelligence if you're trying to figure out like what specifically that face means.
Oh, you know, I'm trying to insight my way to victory.
I only got a one success, which is apropos of baby's life.
I got 2.
Okay.
Yeah, not so good.
BB, you just clocked that there's a pause there. But Haramon, you kind of think that it looks like something happened as a reaction. He was not even thinking when this came out of his mouth. And now that it's out and he's stopped,
he's like,
it looks
I
like
showed my butt
he
a little bit.
Didn't want to do that. Yeah. And as he stops, Matryoshka's eyes go wide and her mouth like Grinch smiles. It just like creeps across her face and she is glowing. She is beaming and she just starts just pouring out Russian excitedly at him. And he goes, I should probably go. And he turns around to just straight up leave the entire cafeteria. And you notice as he walks away, he leaves his tray of food.
Before he leaves, I say,
Yeah.
you always seem to be kind of like bumping into people or in the way of others. I think if you made your presence known a little bit more, that would happen a little less. And he would probably also notice that she's not speaking in the accent to him.
Yeah, okay. With that, you definitely see his ears prick up and he turns sort of halfway back as he is known to do. He doesn't open his mouth as if to speak. He just looks at you for a moment. That strange, neutral, cold look that he has when you know that his mind is working. And for a moment, you get a hint of the detective that you haven't seen yet, that you know he is. And you feel this wash of like pure analytics behind his eyes. And he just looks at you for what feels like a very long second.
She'll stare back and then eventually grab
Blank.
But yeah, no, that's exactly what happens.
Like
She
what?
blinks, grabs Matryoshka's tray from her and carries both of them over to the prestige team's table.